Hi there. Okay, so this is part two, and I left off where I had gotten stuck in the snow at 4:30 in the morning in Dunsmuir, across the street from my new home. So, uh, yeah, getting stuck in the snow is not fun, and I tried getting out several times, but what happened was it was kind of an incline towards the house that towards the front yard and area of my neighbors. And I was getting closer and closer to her bushes, to her mailbox, and finally had to stop. But it was still snowing, a very wet snow, and I realized that all my stuff was wet. And so I was able to open the garage of my place. And this is 4:30 in the morning. I had gotten no sleep whatsoever. I had driven straight up, only stopping for gas and coffee on the way up. So I was pretty beat, but I realized that, I needed to get my stuff into the garage so that it wouldn't get even wetter. So I basically started doing that. And it was a chore. I mean, this was probably the worst move that I've had. I mean, I've never run into a snowstorm or a rainstorm in my moves. It was always dry, and so this got my sacred masculine to really pump up and start doing what I had to do. And so I took off the tarp and I started moving stuff in, and some of the stuff was really heavy, let me tell you. And so the boxes were wet. Some of the boxes started falling apart on me, and I mean, it was a mess. But over the next 3-4 hours, I was able to get most of the stuff into the garage. Some of the heavy stuff, some of the big furniture, I was not able to move, and brought the tarp back over. And then it turned out that, I put on a coat and everything, but the snow was so wet that was falling that I was soaked to the bone. I mean, I had tennis shoes on, running shoes, and they were completely soaked. My coat, I had a down coat underneath over this shell, but all of it was totally soaked. My pants were soaked, everything was soaked. But I got in the car and turned on the heater, and I was basically waiting for the people that I was renting from to come in the morning to, basically give me the keys and open the door so I could get in and actually try to dry off. And finally they did come. I also, luckily my phone, even though I had no coverage in that area, I had roaming. And so I was able to call them. I was also able to call my insurance company. I have a towing service with them, and ask them to come and help tow my car out. And finally the people came that I was renting from, and I was able to do a walkthrough, got my keys, and actually the guy helped me with some of the stuff, move some of the stuff in. So it was great. I even met some of my neighbors, which was great. One of the neighbors helped me move in some of the stuff. I borrowed a shovel from him. And actually what was great was that when he helped me with a shovel, like he loaned me a shovel, I got the idea of actually maybe being able to get my car out by shoveling the snow out from underneath the tires. And then he also had some salt, some rock salt, which he also helped me, and I actually was able to move. Now this was when the trailer was empty, so it made a lot more sense. That was one of my ideas, was to empty the trailer so that I wasn't pulling all this stuff. And I was able to actually move the vehicle out and get out from this stuck position in front of this woman's house. And I was able to talk with her too. And my neighbors were great. Very friendly, very open, very giving and generous. And so I finally was able to move in and move my vehicle in a place where it was off the street. So let's see, where am I? Okay, so let me share a little bit more about the house. And in fact, I'm gonna share some photos with you that I took. I didn't take any photos of my trailer or any of that stuff because I was so focused on the move. But since I've gotten here and since I got the idea of doing this this video blog about my adventure, I've taken a few photos and I'll share those as part of sharing this on the video blog, okay? Anyway, let me tell you about the house. The house is a 3-bedroom house, and so one bedroom is meant to be a guest bedroom, which I'm going to create. I haven't created it yet. The other bedroom is my bedroom, and then the third room, which I'm speaking from now, is when I'm creating my office here. And let me see if I can share a little bit about this. So you can take a look. I've got so here you can take a look at, let's see, outside. So I've got a bird feeder out there. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, there it is, right near the edge. So it's really perfect for what I would wanted. And then I'll show you the rest of it. See if I can point down. You can see my desk here. So all right. So it's actually ideal. And I'm going to share a little bit more about what I intend to be doing here as part of my adventure. So it's maybe something that you can look forward to. So part of my adventure is to create relationships here, to create some sort of community here in a brand new place, because I've been here, but just for short visits. I also want to start gardening. I want to create my own garden, and so I'll be sharing what I learned about gardening. I grew up on a farm many years ago when I was a kid, but it wasn't really gardening. It was more of a kind of a farm. So I want to do some gardening. I want to really get into food, healthy food, raw food. I'm going to be talking more about that. And then want to learn a little bit more about feng shui, creating my home in a way that's harmonious and really works for me. And let's see, what else? Also I want to create an intimate relationship. And I don't know exactly, I have some ideas about what that looks like, but it'll be interesting for me to see how I can create that. Also, this is a great place for hikes and connecting with nature. Like I said before, there's a very special vortex around Mount Shasta. So I'm going to be, carrying my camera and maybe my video camera with me as I do that. So, and then finally, the last thing is that I've been working on my business for a number of years now, but this last year I spent a lot of money to actually get coaching and go through a mentorship program around business, which I'd never done before. And so I want to really launch my business here. And so these are all part of the grand adventure that I'm on here in Mount Shasta. So more to come, and thank you for listening. All right, take care.